Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you, my sun sign brothers and sisters. All right, with that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you got the Lovers card, interestingly enough. So I find this really interesting because yes, the Lovers card is about relationships, partnerships. It's about the way that we connect with others, and it's also about making choices, and sometimes choices in ways that you got your first card. Sometimes making choices, not in ways that are difficult, but between things that present you with a difficult road or a difficult path. Sometimes this is because we're having to choose between things that we genuinely love, right? But we can only take one path. As an example, let's say you interview for 3 jobs. 2 of them you absolutely love, like you want to do both of them, and you can only take one, right? You can't be in 2 places at once, so you have to choose. This kind of suggests to me that this week you are going to be faced with a choice. You are going to have to make a decision in some way, shape or form, and it may not be a popular one. It might be that something that your heart is set on maybe flies in the face of whatever other people's plans might be, either for you or working with you or connecting with you or whatever. This is one of those weeks, my dear Aquarius, where the choice that you make is one that is going to be considered selfish. And I'm going to say you have to let it be, all right? This is, after all, Aquarius season. This is, after all, the week of your new moon, right? So happy damn birthday to you if you're celebrating this week like me. That's my Leo ascendant coming out, because most Aquarians are like, too cool for school. All jokes aside, if you're celebrating this week and it's your birthday, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful, blessed solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with little token elements of everything that you want this entire year ahead to have in it for you, right? Imprint the energy with these things, right? So use that day, the day of your solar return, to full effect. Now, that being said, if your birthday falls either the day before, the day of, or sort of like a day or 2 either side of the new moon. If you're having a birthday new moon, this whole year is going to be very important for you, right? It generally suggests that you yourself are having a brand new, fresh start in some way, shape or form. Especially because it means, like, if your birthday is between, let's say, the 30th of January and the 3rd of February, right? In that bracket, your sun is very close to this new moon, which means like this is a big fresh start for you, especially within that space in your chart, right? So the house placement is absolutely going to matter because it's going to show you kind of where, so look to that. But yeah, it's a big deal, all right? So use it to that same energy. For your actions and options, you've got the Strength card. So remember what I said about making a choice, making a decision that is, you know, very much about you. This card is ruled by Leo. And this is really interesting because the sun, the ruling planet of Leo, or the ruling luminary of Leo, is in your sign at this moment in time. And what I find really interesting about this is about what you want in your heart of hearts, right? That's the Strength card. It asks you, cut away all the BS. What do you want? What feels like it really resonates with you in here, in this space, in your heart of hearts? What do you want? And this week, I feel like you're making a choice about what you want. And like I said, it might be unpopular. It might be deemed selfish. It might even come across as, well, you know, if you do that, then it means you don't care about anybody else. In this regard, maybe that is the case, and that is supposed to be the case. This is one of those times in life where I'm going to say to you, Aquarius, be selfish, right? This is the time. For your communications and conversations, you have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so how you sort of talk about this stuff. One thing that I will say to you with that Knight of Swords, maybe this isn't something that you're supposed to share with just anybody at this moment in time. So I would say if this is a project, get it off the ground before you start telling people what it is. If this is a new job that you're going for or anything like that, and it looks like that might be the case for some of you, for those of you that have children, a Gemini teenager, specifically teenager, anywhere from around 13 upwards, may feature for you this week. And it may be that you have to not discipline them, but you may have to lay down some boundaries, or you might have to kind of tell it how it is. Right now, you're an Aquarius, you're already good at that sort of stuff. Whether this is your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, you know how to tell it how it is when it is, right? Now, that being said, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this kind of feels, if I'm honest, like maybe something that you're usually expected to do, or maybe something that has evolved recently, you're no longer up for. How you deliver that message to your boss. If you go into your boss and say, I'm not fucking doing that anymore, get someone else to do it, then you're likely to not get the response that you want. Whereas if you fight your case and say, listen, either increase the pay or increase the benefits, because at the moment I'm not getting out of this what I'm putting into it, right? If you structure your argument well, it can't be denied. For those of you that are business owners, etc., this could be a business meeting, it could be a connection, it could be something as well. And this is for all Aquarians. There's something about this card that's telling me you got to haggle this week, right? So you might be having to do some, it might be a little bit kind of not uncomfortable, but it might be really you might have to do a little bit of fighting this week, right? You might have to find some way of you just might have to haggle. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, I mean, this coupled with the Strength card suggests that maybe something that you put on hold for a very long time. Now that you've got time, even if it's that you're just not working, it's not necessarily that you're retired. Now that you have time to yourself, maybe it's time to bring something back to the fore. Some goal, some hope, some dream, some passion of yours that you used to really love doing. This could be a week to bring it back, right? For your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of air energy in these cards, right? Which kind of makes sense. We're in Aquarius season, but Aquarius tends to think their emotions. Let's just call a spade, or a sword. You've got this underneath the Strength card, but this week it's like you feel something so deeply. You are so passionate or so emboldened by this thing that you're not backing down. Your partner might kind of take that as a bit like, oh, you're a bit more, you than usual. So just keep that in mind. When it comes to those of you that are single, with the Lovers card and the Ace of Swords here, there's definitely some connection, but it looks like it starts over the airways. So this could be phone calls, text messages, emails, it could be an app, it could be a dating website. Like there's something new that is coming in for sure, but you yourself are in a state of flux. So I'm not entirely sure how much longevity this might have. For your money and materials, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, nice. I like this card for money because it suggests that the skills that you have are evolving and expanding, and you're either getting paid more for what you do, or you are integrating new skills or ideas that you have. Like there's definitely something going on behind the scenes here with you guys, and while at the moment you're doing just the hard work, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be a payoff. What you're preparing now is definitely paving the way for some big sort of financial reward at a later date. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Page of Pentacles is your neck, your throat, and the lower part of your jaw, and your voice. You got to look after your voice this week, Aquarius, especially if you're in a field like I am, where you're constantly waffling. When it comes to your home and environment, there is a change coming to the home this week. Now, I don't want to say that this is a move. For some of you, it could be. But for a lot of you, maybe this is that you're deciding to finally launch into setting up that home-based business. For some of you, this might literally just be something as simple as you finally set up your office at home. There's something here that enables you to really get more established around your work, but it is from the home sphere. So really interesting. Now that new moon, as I was talking about, my astrology is always tropical astrology, whole sign houses, always. This is going to be really important for those of you that are ascendant Aquarians, to a lesser degree the sun and the moon, but still relevant nonetheless, right? This new moon is taking place in your sign, in your first house, right? So if this is your true first house, this suggests to me that this is all about you, your body, your mind, your physical self, how people see you, how you present yourself to the world. Like, this is a time to reinvent yourself like never before. And that last bit, like reinventing yourself, whether your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, if this is your ascendant, reinventing all of you, right? If it's your sun, reinventing your life goal, your life path, your life mission, your soul calling, right? Maybe even your, dare I say it, purpose. And you guys know my thoughts on purpose at this point, so no stupid comments, right? This is the one time, I always say there's no stupid comments, there's no stupid questions, but this is that one time where I will say no stupid comments. I've given my thoughts on purpose. I am working on a series to address that whole idea, because I don't believe that we just have one purpose in life and then that's it. Oh, scrap heap of life, you're done. And for those of you who this is your moon sign, this is going to be all about your partnerships, your relationships, your deep, intimate connections, and more importantly, your emotions. This is a fresh start for all Aquarians across the board in some way, shape or form. Your card for this is the Gate 26. Of course it is, because we're Aquarians. And the greater good, right? So this card actually talks about symbiotic relationships, where whatever we are connected to, or whoever we're connected to, through whatever it is that we're doing, it's a mutually exclusive, mutually beneficial agreement or relationship in some way, shape or form. Now, the other thing about this is it's about herd, it's about tribe, it's about connections, but it's also about, like, the greatest good, and I've said this to you before, the greatest good that you will ever do for the world is to improve your own life. When you make the most or the best of yourself and you are truly happy, you operate at optimum for everything and everyone else that you come into contact with. That's why this inner work and making our lives the best that it can be is not so we can flex for the gram and say, oh, look at me, look what I've done. It's so that you can be better for the world. Right? We're all in a relationship with the world, with spirit, with ourselves. And, you know, when you are at your best, you are the best in those connections. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Happy birthday if you're celebrating this one. Take care, and I'll see you soon.